Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Funhouse. We're here with Gachiakuta Chapter 23, Fave Grub, and let's get right into it. So, chapter starts off with Zonka looking at this weird thing coming through the door. It says, "The strong sense it," that there is a monster, with this kind of like horror manga aesthetic going on with the canted angle and everything. Yeah, we wonder what that is, but then obviously we cut to 6 hours ago, which has Rudo in his wonderful new drip. Absolutely amazing design, by the way, from Keirana. And we can see Folo's trying to stop Rudo from looking for the woman in the Forbidden Zone, but Rudo's like, nah, bro, gotta get to heaven. And then Engine stops him, and he's obviously telling him that although he's gotten better with his Jinki, he is ill-prepared. And to be honest, he has not gotten better with his Jinki. That was luck. He's like slightly better. Anyway, they go on to discuss how, you know, they're going to need to prepare a little bit, ascertaining Rudo's power, maybe even training him a little bit. We'd like a little bit of training art. That'd be dope. And then
training arc's so awesome.
Exactly. And then, you know, Rudo actually thought that he was going to go on his own, which I can't believe he still thinks, you know, that he's like on his own, because they're willing to help him with everything. And Engine's like, yeah, no, we got you, bro, but first off, we got a lot of work to do. Gotta look out for the Vandals, gotta train you, gotta do a bunch of shit. And so then he goes on and he explains to Rudo how bad guys can be givers, because there's nothing necessarily about a bad person that stops them from caring for an object. And he, you know, Engine explains that someone who is a virtuous person could treat their things like shit. Someone who is a bad person can treat their things very, you know, with a lot of care. And then he also makes a pretty bold statement, which you might have to validate, which is that anyone can become a giver. And it's hard to say what he means by that, right? Because we still don't know whether or not you have to be born, you know, as a giver, but we're going to get into that later. Anyway, Engine tells him it's just a chill day, right? And then after not being able to relax or sleep, Ryo decides to give him a tour of the HQ, and we see a little bit more of Janitor HQ and what it's got going on. And it's kind of empty, probably because all the janitors are working. And
the bathroom looks nice.
Yeah, and Ryo and him talk a little bit about how heaven was like for him, and they kind of compared life in the abyss, or the surface, or whatever we want to call it, compared to heaven. And how, you know, Ryo seems pretty happy that there are also bullies in the abyss, just like there are in heaven. And then she shows him sweets. And she's like, yeah, we have sweets.
Game changers.
Exactly. Rudo's never had sweets because it was only for rich people. And this kind of goes over another topic, which I'm going to go over, you know, when we finish, about the abyss possibly just being a more enjoyable place than the slums in heaven. Anyway.
It seems like it so far.
Yeah. Anyway, Engine talks about a little bit more about the sweets, and then Rudo actually tries it, and he absolutely loves it.
Yeah, homie busted a nut from one macaroon.
Exactly, bro. Like, everything's sparkling, and he's enjoying it a lot. Engine and Ryo are a little bit surprised, and Engine obviously assumes that he's going to get hooked. And then Rudo continues stuffing his face until he is greeted by Baby. That's what we're calling her. Her, him, I'm assuming it's her. It's just Baby. So Baby with squared pupils really gives Rudo the stink eye, assumingly because he's eating her sweets. And then
it's a he.
It's a he? Okay.
Well, when Rudo says what's with him, he's after the sweets.
Oh, okay.
But I want to eat more.
So yeah, he's just kind of sitting there, right? And Rudo gives him a lollipop. Until like and they ask for more sweets, and then Rudo calls him a shitty brat. Anyway, we see another giver as well. I'm assuming that's a giver because he doesn't look like he's in a supporter uniform, like with the baby, and he apologizes for how the baby's acting. So
he's got a dope ass goatee.
Yeah. I'd rather have Aisha than the baby, okay? Let's put it like that. The baby doesn't even speak either. Whatever. We're not even going to go over the baby until later. Anyway, we flash forward 6 hours to now, where Zonka is kind of just walking around, right? You know, overhearing Engine and Ryo talking about Rudo. And then we flash forward to the scene from the beginning of the manga where Zonka is just fearful of the monster, quote unquote, in the hallway, and then boom, we see it is fat ass Rudo, big chungus Rudo. And Naruto doesn't recognize him. He's like, yo, there's something weird. There's some weird outsider over here. And then Rudo just says, fuck you. Okay.
The fuck you is such an icing on the cake.
Dude. And then it's like there's a little text bubble that says bloated. Anyway.
Goofiest chapter yet.
Goofy chapter, goofy awe, right? Absolutely Akiway chapter. Let's go over and let's just analyze whatever the fuck I just read.
What is there to analyze?
What is there to analyze? Okay. Yeah.
Well, there's one thing. Rudo. So this basically all but confirms that Rudo really is a superhuman because his body can physically stretch to enormous lengths in a short amount of time. So that basically confirms he solos Goku. Or something. Yeah, something like that, I would assume.
Yeah, his tummy definitely solos Goku.
Yeah, no, he probably vore Goku.
Yeah.
Seeing how big this dude is.
Despite how goofy this chapter was, we did get a lot of stuff that I'm interested in going over. So, like, to start off, right? Rudo's just really strong, right? Follow can barely hold him back. He even mentions how strong he is. And that goes over the idea that just Rudo is incredibly physically strong, for his size at least. It doesn't seem like he's that much stronger than like his peers like Ryo and Engine, but for having no training, he's pretty impressive. And then we see that he's interested in going. Engine talks to him a little bit, and I would like to see a training arc. I would like to see the story slow down, and that's what's been going on. The last two chapters we've just been taking a break, so I really like that. I'd like to see that slowing down continue. Anyway, the drip is real, right?
The drip is respectable.
We Jewish, and the drip is real. Okay, it is real, and Rudo's drip is impeccable. He fits right in with the rest of the cast. He just looks like he's been there forever. It's absolutely dope. This is something I would expect to see him wearing at the end of the series. And
he looks so swag.
Yeah, no, they truly got him something amazing. And also, dude, the graffiti popped off this chapter too. It just looks good, right? There's a lot more detail and a lot more overall. It's just really dope. And I like that they even have graffiti like in their base. It's not just in like the wastelands.
Yeah.
But anyway, also Ryo, it looks so good. All the art looks amazing this chapter too.
Yeah, this chapter looked really, really good. Especially the beginning part with Zonka in the horror movie looks so pretty.
Oh yeah, I ain't gonna be a pervert, but like low key, just like they drew Ryo really well proportionally. Like you have a perfect understanding of like how fucking much of a lanklet she is because it's drawn perfect. No, like I don't know how else to say it. Like.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she should eat some of them sweets.
Exactly, right? They just drew her really well. So, like, I just have to give them props, right? It's just, they just did a dope job. And I love the detail on the hair and everything. A big thing with female mangaka that I noticed is just there's so much more detail paid attention to the hair and the fashion.
Yeah.
The fashion and the hair, I have so much more detail. I noticed this in stuff like, what's that one? Witch Hat Atelier?
Yeah, Witch Hat Atelier.
Same thing there.
Just gorgeous.
And obviously, this is totally different, but it still has that same emphasis on the hair and the fashion that you don't normally get. Like inside of Ryo's collar, we can see the little swirl pattern, right? Like on the inside of it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's detail that I wouldn't expect from most manga. Anyway,
yeah,
the sweets are a nice touch. I love how much
the sweets are also more popular than drugs. Don't forget that, and they're scary to get hooked on.
More popular than drugs. I mean, I guess that is true for real life, but like, I don't think it's as severe as a drug addiction.
Yeah, I mean, I'd much rather be addicted to sugar and macaroons than, I don't know, heroin?
Yeah.
Crack?
Anyway, baby. What's up with baby, bro? Like, is it an actual baby? I want to believe it's an actual baby.
I think it's just a weirdo.
Dude, look how tiny he is.
I think it's just a weirdo with a binky in Minecraft eyes.
Okay, but the Jinky gotta be the binky. The Jinky gotta be the binky.
The Jinky gotta be the binky.
I'm putting money on it.
Do you think we're gonna get a baby in Big Chungus Rudo fight?
Dude, no.
You don't think so?
I'm assuming though baby's gotta be powerful. Because why would you have a baby in the Givers? Dude, really, think about it, right? Like, you only have these specific, like, exceptions when when that character is super powerful. And like the janitors allowing a baby into their ranks, that baby's gotta go hard.
Oh, so look how the confident the baby is, just like looming and standing over Rudo.
Yeah, totally, dude. Like he's just like
he's got the power stance.
why Rudo called him a shitty brat? And he doesn't speak either. That's why I think he's a baby. He might be a baby, bro.
Well, he can't speak if you got the binky.
A confident baby. Yeah, I guess you can't speak if you got the binky, and then he had the lollipop. Yeah, I guess he never did have anything not in his mouth paws. But anyway. We move on, right? The others were talking about what they're going to do about Rudo. So they just left him like that.
Just abandoned him.
And then bro, he's so fucking fat, bro.
He's round.
The way his zipper just is completely undone and the jacket is bulging around him.
And I still think the best part of the whole chapter is the fuck you right at the end. It's so funny.
Dude, I don't know why it's so funny, bro. It's so perfectly done, bro.
K-Ron is a genius.
Oh my god, dude, she's too good. But yeah, anyway, there's a couple implications. They also talk about how there are actually givers who are capable of preparing food, and they
and that makes sense.
Yeah, honestly, it just seems like these givers can literally do anything.
Because like if you know, let's say you're a chef, right, and you have your special knife and you care for your knife so much, obviously your ability isn't going to be to like stab people really well. If you ever become a giver, it's going to become to cook really well, and that makes sense. And I think it's really cool, just expanding the world and stuff a little bit.
Like I mean, I'm gonna compare it to Semiyu, right? How her Jinky, like, it probably doesn't help her too much in combat at all. It's mainly utility, and I want to see more utility Jinky. And maybe that is like, this is gonna be kind of like a theory, kind of like, but maybe the only way that the surface is really able to survive is because of the utilization of givers in day-to-day society.
That would make sense.
Like
and
food production, travel, everything. We've seen them that they have the ability to teleport, right? The janitors alone probably would not be able to function without Semiyu, because she's able to tell when anyone is a bad person or not, right? So she could just make sure that the entire the entire organization is just made up of good people. Can you imagine how important that is?
Yeah, that's very powerful.
So overall, like, I really think that probably they rely on givers for everything, and I wouldn't be surprised. And honestly, it seems like givers are much more common than we initially thought. I'm thinking,
but it's also weird that they're looked down upon.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, Engine talks about how people look down on givers. They call them dependents because it looks weird if you're obsessed with a thing. But like,
that's like a stupid ass insult, dude, well.
Okay, yeah, that's so dumb. Like, I don't understand. If I like had a manhole cover that could teleport me anywhere I wanted, I'm pretty sure I would like the manhole cover. Like, I'm obviously going to depend on it. Like, that's so stupid. I think that's a little bit silly. I'm not gonna lie, Katie, that one ain't checking out in my head. But anyway, overall,
I guess we'll just have to see some
maybe
some giver oppression, some giver racism in the future.
Sense later with more context, but like, I don't see a reason to look down on a giver. Like, I don't understand. Maybe Zonka, right? Like, you can make fun of him because he just has a stick, and he calls it his love stick, right? So I can make fun of that guy.
But, he's a loser.
But like, why would I make fun of Ryo and her scissors? Like, what am I? Oh, you have cool scissors.
Or like Semiyu and her glasses. Like, you need them to see, and you also really care for them. Like, what?
I know.
Doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's just a little bit stupid. And yeah, overall, great chapter. Loved it. So funny. If we get more of these chapters and no action, I will not be complaining. So, great job. Absolutely loved it. Anything else?
So goofy,
Yeah, totally goofy, All right. Y'all have
that shit was pushing P.
Yeah, that was really pushing P. Like that on Pickle. All right. Good night, everyone.